Yo, we are back with another Reverse 99 video talking about another upcoming character in Kakania. So as always, we gotta get out the disclaimer that you should always pull for who you like because it will make the game more enjoyable and you can pretty much beat most of the content in the game with any character. Also in the future, some of the older units will be getting a buff, so there's a chance your favorite characters might get even stronger down the line. Okay, Kakania is a must pull if you have a soul day because you must have both of them together. I'm just kidding, but like, why would you not want them to be happy together? So let's just start off with the pros of Kakania, which is her tanking ability, where she can mitigate damage your team takes, then provide passive healing when she takes a certain percent of the damage for your team, and then after she takes the damage, she will dish out Genesis damage when she passively heals herself. Did you get all that? Yeah, that's just her passive. I haven't even talked about her skills yet, which is crazy. So anyways, one of her skills provides a very rare attack buff to one of your teammates. It's very rare because there's not many characters in the game currently that give flat attack buffs. And just quickly going over her ultimate, it synergizes super well with DPS characters who can provide a lot of burst damage in a one-turn window, aka Windsong. So for example, if your Windsong does 1 million damage during that turn, Kakania will also do 300,000 Genesis damage on top of Windsong because of her ultimate. Doesn't that sound insane? So yeah, Kakania reduces damage taken, heals, provides attack buffs, extra Genesis damage passively, and a crazy ultimate. She is an incredible support. It's hard to categorize her into a role of a sub DPS, buffer, or sustain, because yes, she is sustain, but she also provides a buff, but she also does a decent amount of Genesis damage. She is kind of a bit of everything, so that leads into the next topic, which is, I guess, a bit of cons about Kakania, if you will. Because she's a bit of everything, I see a lot of people comparing her to Tooth Fairy and Villa, talking about can Kakania solo sustain, but that is just not really a fair comparison in my opinion, since Tooth Fairy and Villa are literally designed and specializes in healing and cleansing your team, while Kakania is more about mitigating the damage and providing extra damage, so I really don't like that comparison. But while we're on the topic and mentioning Tooth Fairy, let's quickly talk about the Tooth Fairy banner since it's actually running alongside Kakania and who I think you should be pulling for. I am going to tell you what I think straight up. I do not think it is worth it to pull for Tooth Fairy right now, even if you do not have Villa. Maybe pull for a copy of Yenisei on her banner if you don't have either Tooth Fairy or Villa, but you should be really pulling for Lucy if you don't have her, because at the end of the day, if the enemy is dead, you will never need to worry about survivability, and if you have Lucy, then we can consider Kakania. So yeah, back to the cons. Kakania may have a hard time solo sustaining for 3-man teams if the fight goes on for too long. In my opinion, she can still be good in 3-man teams as long as the fights are short and you can burst the enemy within the HP pool of Kakania. She's going to be the best with a 4-man team with a healer. Her attack buff is just kind of okay if you don't bring another damage percent buffer. Like I said, she kind of does a bit of everything with the added passive damage mitigation and lots of Genesis damage. How I look at Kakania versus characters like Tooth Fairy and Villa is that Kakania is kind of niche, but not really. When I say niche, I mean she works really well with bursty characters like Windsong. What I'm trying to say is that Kakania going forward into the future has a higher ceiling, so if you are looking to achieve bigger numbers or getting higher scores in raid, she will be the better option over a character like Tooth Fairy for sure, and slightly more or around Villa's buffs. In terms of pull value going to the future, where we keep getting insanely strong DPS characters that blow up everything before we even get damaged ourselves, a character who provides just enough sustain along with attack buffs and Genesis damage might be more valuable. For example, if Kakania can allow your Lucy to get ramped up and then destroy everything before you even need to worry about healing, then you wouldn't even have to consider ever bringing a healer, right? So after saying all that, I've come to my pull value rating for Kakania at a 4 out of 5. So overall, a very good pickup for the future because she has a very high ceiling, and if you're an endgame player and or have Windsong, I think her pull value goes up even higher. Alright, we have come to the end of the video. Let me know what you think, and if you're pulling for Kakania, I will be streaming my pulls later today, and I may just get P5 Kakania as a free to play. Who knows? See ya in the stream. Peace.